does not sign a contract. This child, it is a child, and the brain is not set. It's off, way off. It cannot talk. And if you're a smart parent, you don't encourage it. You can't walk, don't encourage it. When it rolls over, you roll it back over. But most of us are so happy to have this thing, this bundle of joy, that we confuse the child. This child, you talk to it, they're evil people. No, when they're like this, and you hold them, and they can't even stand, and they're there like this. And they have little teeny hands, and they're evil, and they don't like you. And they reach to your face, and they grab your lip, and they rip your lip down. You start to cry. They know what they're doing. Grab your nose, and you already throw all up over your head. They hate you. Because you give them green things to eat. And look at that. You'd think that if you fed somebody, cleaned them and fed them and carried them, they'd be better behaved than throwing food. Like a bunch of prisoners. And then they try to cry and swallow at the same time. Then they cough carrot in your face. And then you're done. You don't realize the kid's having fun with you. They're in the crib. You come by and they throw something out. You pick it up. You wipe it off and give it back to them. And they throw it out again. Trying to figure out who's brighter. This is where there's a separation of the father and the mother. Because the mother keeps picking it up. The old man said, "Hey, I understand. Stand there, just look at it."
Boy, Ryder hates it when I do that.
Fathers and grandfathers. See, in parenting, when you're the parent and you're in your 20s and the early 30s, things well up. You tell your kid, "Hey, you could have done it, don't you realize?" That kind of thing. Grandparents, you just look at them. Let them do it. That's why most of you won't let your parents watch your kids.
That's what mom does, isn't it?
You'd like to go see it, but no, I'll look after it. No, you won't either. Three of them. So you have three. And you think 3 bundles of joy. Before you had them, it was the most wonderful idea to have them. Oh, yes. And you've read books. Yeah, people who have no children have written books about how to take care of them. And there's nothing in there that says hit them. See, I was brought up at a time, and I want all of you to understand me. I was not in charge of my time. Just like I'm not in charge of when I can have a child, give birth. No. But we didn't have psychiatrists in the 40s that anybody paid attention to or had money to hire. No. So your parents just did it themselves. And it was very simple. Hit the kid. Hit him. He'll understand. And I want to tell you something. It worked. No. Wait. I'm not here to tell you to beat your kid. I'm talking about me. I know that I was doing something, and I knew my father had said, don't do that again. And I waited until I knew he wasn't around, and I did it again. And he came up. I didn't know he was there. And I was doing it. And I felt, whoa! And you know what I said? You're absolutely correct. I'm sorry that I did it, but and I'll speak to you more about the subject as soon as these black and white dots stop. Sit down. I can't see you right now. I don't know where you are. I don't trust you anymore. When I was about 5, we lived in a housing project in Philadelphia. And Bishop Holmes projects, Richard Allen Holmes. And we had a stove. There was a stove, had 4 burners. He pulled us down, and this is the oven. Underneath is a broiler. Here is a box, a dispenser. You put it, there are these matches. Wooden stick. And on the tip was red and white. And you could do like that. When you get this age, it happens. No, I was just thinking about, no, I'm serious, I'm 76. While I was talking to you, I started thinking about breakfast. Well, when you have oatmeal. No, when you get old, certain things come to you. You don't even know why. I don't know what age, I was 62 or something. I just woke up, I wanted oatmeal. I don't like oatmeal. I didn't like it when I was eating it. But I had to have it. So just now when I was talking to you, some of the voices said, we're going to have oatmeal in the morning. And the fans went, I hate oatmeal. It'll lower your cholesterol. I've never seen cholesterol. I don't know anything about it. I just keep hearing them say, yours is too high. And I told them, I said, it's supposed to be. I would be worried if it were not, because of the way I eat. I love hamburgers, I love grease. I should have a high cholesterol. Do you know how disappointed I would feel? He said, boy, your cholesterol is 160. Oh, some of this food is not real food. By the way, do you have the moose out here? Yeah, now this is something I want to ask you.
You went from the stove.
Look at the moose.
Yeah. The moose.
Look at the moose in your own mind.
What does the fox say?
Is this something I just envisioned when God created things? This is the last thing that God created. These are just parts. I mean, look at that head. That head does not go with that body. And these skinny legs don't go with the body either. It looks like the body looks like something from gym class without the handles on it. come out, and then the feet. I don't understand it, man. None of it goes wet. They reproduce. And they keep looking like the same thing. I got to see the sperm cells. I'm going to go to a forensic lab and say, I want to see magnified the moose sperm cell. It's got to be a weird looking thing. So anyway, it was raining. And in those days, there was no TV. I don't mean we didn't have a TV. I meant there's no TV. Nobody had it, not even the president. Nobody had it. So you found things to do. And I saw my mother a couple of times when she was going to bake things. She'd take the match and
back to the stove.
She'd turn the knob, and there was a hole. And she'd switch it. And I watched. And then one day, I was by myself. And I reached up and I grabbed the match, pulled the thing down, pushed it in, and I did about 4 of them. No, I did about 4. Turned it off. And what I found out in my scientific research was that the longer
You let it sit.
let the gas go. You all have done that also? The bigger the boom. The bigger the boom. And finally, man, I don't know what caused it. I don't know if it was the gas, which got to my brain damage. But I said to myself, I'm really going to let it go a very, very long. And even the people in my brain said, light the match. Light the match, you fool. And I just and finally, I don't remember hearing anything. I know I did like that. And then I felt heat. And I was airborne. And I was airborne, and I smelled burning hair. And I started to laugh. I was laughing so hard, and I went over the dinner table. Which only sat 4 people. And I landed in the corner. Pieces of my clothing was smoking. And I smelled my eyebrows burned. And I was laughing so hard. My mother was in the back and heard the boom and came running out. Now, mothers have different reactions to looking at their child, who is a complete idiot. She grabbed a broom, and then it had the straw part like that, and she started to beat me, to punish me, and put the fire out at the same time. And I was laughing so hard, and she was yelling, "You could have set the house on fire! It could have exploded and gone, and you could have fire all the way downtown, and you could have killed half of the people in the city," and I was just laughing and laughing. She kept hitting me with the broom. And what did I learn from that? Not to do it when she's around. Oh, yes. Because it had. Then another time, I I knew she wasn't at home, and I did it again. I never heard the sound, just... And I didn't know my father was home. My fathers are different people. My old man picked me up. I was still on fire. He said, now stand there and burn. I was still laughing. I was just laughing. And what did I learn? Not to do it when any of them happen to be around. Because they go crazy. You could have done this and you did it and chicken and you want to know about fire or you stand there and burn it. I knew he wouldn't let me burn up. But he did charge me for the clothing. It was a rainy day. My mother and father were gone. And I pulled it down. Got 7 matches. I'm ready to laugh. And my father's father, Granddad Cosby, came by the house. In those days, you never locked your door, even at night. And Granddad Cosby walked in. I didn't see him. And Granddad Cosby got about right here and saw what I was doing. He said nothing. He turned around and walked towards the door. And as he was pulling the door closed, I heard him say, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And I turned it off. Put the matches back because I don't trust him. Some of you have children, and you think it's a wonderful idea. Those of us who are firstborn will tell you it isn't. When you are firstborn, you are confused because as the others come, you wonder if these people, the parents, really love you, or they just had you to watch their kids.
That's about right.
Now I want to tell all you parents this on behalf of the firstborn people. We never liked your children. And look at what you did to us. No matter what happened, you hit us and told us we should know better. From what? You never believed us. By the time you got to your 4th kid, you were finished raising people. You weren't interested in the truth or justice. You just wanted it quiet. And you'd open the door to the room and you'd see us first. And we were beaten. And you never got to the others because you got tired. My mother said things I didn't understand what she was saying. She said, if I hear another peep out of, I didn't know what the word peep meant. I know I hadn't said it. So I looked at the 2 idiots. After my mother left, I said, I anymore. Because Mom can hear. No, our mother she could hear. Because I remember she said, I heard you. You talk under your breath.
Yeah.
I tried to hear her. No, really, I did. I went, because of my mother, I didn't like birds. She came home a number of times after assigning me to do something. And she said, you were out doing this and doing that, and you never came in to do until such and such a time. And finally, when I felt comfortable enough, I said, how do you know this? She said, a little bird told me. It's very difficult to be outside, doing what you're not supposed to be doing, and looking for birds at the same time. I cursed one out one time. I said, you little rabbit. They don't like it when you call them rabbits. I'm a bird, I'm not a rabbit. There's a thing called sibling rivalry.
I'm glad we were far enough apart.
If you're an older child, you will never know hate. And it doesn't take much to hate them. Just see them. And they know what to do to you. They're put on this earth to get you in a position to be beaten for being stupid. Because all they want to do is just make you hit them. Then they go running. Then your mother and father come up and beat you. And you're such an idiot, you keep doing it. Until you're about 40.
You still got some time.
I'm telling you, I hated Russell. I mean, I'm sitting in my room, not bothering anybody, just sitting there. And he would come up with his little slimy self. This is the entry. And he put his foot right there. And man, the hatred would come up. And I just wanted to, but my parents said, don't you put your hands on him. And he knew it, and he just tapped. And I said to him, Russell, get out of my room. And I told him, I said, I'm not playing with you, man. Get out of my room. And he said, it's a free country. And I got up and I walked over to him. And my mother said, don't put your hands on him. So I bumped him with my stomach. I said, get out! In his face, and he's, you know, and then he did some old, I don't know, jujitsu or something. You know, and I grabbed his foot. You know, he was up kicking. So I accidentally landed in my head. There he is bouncing. And now he wants to play fair. Let go, let go. And I did. Then he did one of those phony wrestlers falls. Pow! And then it came out. And then, you know, you ever notice that they cry and they scream, but they say it clearly? I'm telling Mom. Real people crying can't get it out. I just No, these idiots. I'm telling Mom. So. I'm sitting in the room waiting. Bill Jr. Yes, Mom? Come down here right now. So she's sitting, skirt is here, and he's in here, like this, and fake spit tears. And his thumb is all wet from the fry on. And he's looking at me. I hated him even more. Now listen to this carefully, because you may have heard it from your mother or father, but mostly mother. Did you hit him? No, Mom. Well, don't do it again. Yes, ma'am. So I go up, and I'm so mad. I'm mad because my mother didn't believe me. I'm mad because I will tell you the truth. Being firstborn and seeing those idiots, I understood Cain's pain. And I came up, and his room is there. And I hate him down there, smiling and winking. And I went into his room. And I picked up and I broke the neck and killed his invisible friend. Russell! Wood! Come here, man! I want to show you something. So I came, Wood! Look! In your room. Russ. Wood! Your invisible friend, Nolan, broke his neck. Dead. No! And he ran. And he brought Dad back with him. My father came up. And I was standing here, and Russ is there. My father said, what is going on? You know fathers, they don't know anything. 90% of the time, when they come back to beat you, they have no idea what you did. They have to ask you, what did you do? I wouldn't be surprised to see my father come up with 4 classes and a bottle of scotch. So, okay, look, sit down. Here, that's here. Now look, tell me what's wrong with your mother, please. Well, Dad, it's like this. So the old man's standing there. What is going on? Bill broke the It was hilarious. But I couldn't laugh, man. I couldn't laugh. My father looked at me, after my brother said that, my father looked at me like this. And he said, I swear to God, did you really? And Russell Cosby, no. My father said, just shut up. Why are you crying? And Russell said, you're standing on my friend. His brother's dead anyway, so. He just left, man. For him to look at me like this, man.